Hi, this is Bridget Kelsey, and today I want to talk to you about the research that I did about assessments in elementary education. The first article that I focused on is called Uses of Digital Tools and Literacies in the English Language Arts Classroom. The second article was titled Attitudes Towards Mathematics, Effects of Individual, Motivational, and Social Support Factors. And the last article was titled Are Your Students Problem Performers or Problem Solvers? So the first article. The first article, Redefining Literacy Learning Outcomes for Uses of Digital Tools by Richard Beach. This journal was titled Research in the Schools, and it was published in 2012. All right, so this article is talking about the degree to which digital tools enhance literacy learning. The article talks specifically about how iOS or Android apps have certain features that allow students to employ literacy practices. For example, the larger number of iPad or iPhone apps have certain affordances fostering collaborative reading, writing, discussion, and gaming, allowing students to share their work in a larger public square with competing interests. So, in using Twitter, Facebook, or blogs to share information, students are communicating with larger audiences with whom they may have no personal relationship, but are doing so because they perceive the value of sharing their knowledge with the larger public. Research by Beach and O'Brien in 2012 showed that print-based tests indicated positive effects for the use of digital tools. So, for example, an analysis of one of Maine's one-to-one middle school laptop programs, in which all the 7th and 8th grade students were issued their own laptops beginning in 2002, and this was over a 5 year period, so it spanned from 2000 to 2005. There was a significant increase in students' writing scores, with the students who reported high computer use scored significantly higher than did the students with little laptop use. The next article we'll talk about was titled Attitudes Toward Mathematics, the Effects of Individual, Motivational, and Social Support Factors. Right? Achievements in Mathematics and Attitudes. The authors were Maria de Lourdes Mata, Vera Monteiro, and Francisco Piazzo. The journal was titled Child Development Research, and it was published in 2012. So this article talks about the relationship between student attitudes toward mathematics and achievement. So in May and Kishore's meta-analysis, only weak correlations between these variables were identified, and these correlations were dependent on several variables. So the variables they were looking at were things such as grade, sample size, and ethnic background. So, with regard to the grade, these associations became stronger among older students, so specifically between 7th and 12th graders. However, more recent studies point to a positive correlation between student attitude toward mathematics and students' academic achievement. So, along these lines are the results obtained by Nicolati and Philippou. So they reveal significant correlation between attitude and performance. So they found that students having positive attitudes achieved better. So based on Mato and De La Torre's study with secondary school students, they also showed that those with better academic performance have more positive attitudes regarding math than those with poor academic performances. So these results were confirmed in a wider research concerning math study attitudes among the secondary school students of 9 countries. And lastly, a researcher Lipovich in a study developed with the U.S. and Byalu Russian middle school students highlighted the importance of attitudes in predicting academic achievement. So it showed that mathematic attitudes explain the variance of 25 to 32% in mathematic achievement, with much of the explained variance independent of the ability. So the achievement was based more so on the attitudes and less on the actual achievement. A study by Georgia Liu showed that high achievement could serve to predict a positive attitude toward mathematics, but such an attitude could not predict stronger achievement. However, these authors emphasize the role of teachers and schools in changing attitudes, stating that math achievements could be improved by, for example, better teaching methods or more positive teaching or better attributes such as classroom materials and textbooks. Our next article was titled, Are Your Students Problem Performers or Problem Solvers? All right, the authors were Angela T. Barlow, Matthew Duncan, Allison E. Lischka, Kristen Hartland, and Christopher Willingham. All right, this journal was titled Teaching Children Mathematics, and it was published in 2017. All right, so the purpose of this article is to share 3 strategies that the authors found to be useful in scaffolding students toward the exploration in problems. So the first strategy they found is called Introduce a Simpler Problem. So the strategy involves presenting a simpler problem before presenting the primary problem. So the idea is that the simpler problem is a related problem and it's less complex than the primary problem and presents an opportunity for students to develop key understanding and potential strategies that will likely be useful. So strategy 2 is elicit prior knowledge. So the second strategy is often particularly used at the beginning of the new unit. So students need an opportunity to situate a problem in their prior knowledge. So by asking such questions as, what do you know about measurement? So they set the stage for a variety of the connections to be made for the student. So the connections between the student responses and the representations and across the key mathematical ideas, and they can be used to frame background knowledge for the student. And lastly, you want to delay the question. So according to the article, when working with problem performers, many of the students have tendency to select a problem-solving strategy, or often an operation, on the basis of the question without first attempting to understand the problem. So, as a result, you want to share the problem first without revealing the question. So, this refers to the delay the question strategy. So, delaying the question gives the student the opportunity to focus on understanding the relationship. So, once the relationships have been recorded, the students are prepared to continue exploring the problem individually or in pairs as the question is revealed. And these are my resources here that I have used. So thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you have enjoyed it.